Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 8, High Water Mark of Dune Desertfall. It happens to be our finale tonight. We get to see if these wonderful 4 Atreides agents actually succeed in their goal of securing the Arrakis residency for the imminent arrival of the royal family of House Atreides. But before we get into that, a little bit of housekeeping and such. The Dreams and Machines competition is still going on. Remember, if you have 1,000 followers or less, you can just upload a minute long or maybe a little bit more. It has to at least be 1 minute of any kind of content you want about Dreams and Machines, like unboxing, coloring books. What does Dreams and Machines mean to you? And the winner will win $500 toward like $500, not like store credit or anything. $500 to get their stream up and running, to become a better content creator, or a different one, if you will. Runners up get $100 of Modiphius merchandise codes, like basically a gift card. So that's really, really freaking cool, personally. Star Trek Adventures 2.0, the second edition, still available for pre-order. The Cohorts Cthulhu Tactics Kickstarter is starting on Tuesday, May 28th, and I am so stoked for that. That is going to be fun. And most importantly, at least for us here, if you're here in chat right now, you can use !Desertfall in the chat as a chat command for a chance to win one, the starter set of Dune, Adventures in the Imperium. But most important, by the way, that has a really cool dice set. They're the Arrakis Spice Melange ones. But also, it's not just that. You have your choice of one of the 3 limited edition core rule books in either Atreides Green, Harkonnen Red, or House Carino, the Imperial House Purple. So yeah, please, if you want to have a shot doing that, enter !Desertfall in chat, and we'll let we'll let you know who wins at the end. But in order to get to the end, we have to recap what's happened. These 4 agents were sent by House Atreides to secure the residency on Arrakis a week before the Atreides arrived. They have investigated, interrogated, asked around, and observed various members of the housing staff. They've killed a Harkonnen agent who was abusing one of the staff to get secrets about the residency and the spice mining. They have their own secrets and machinations. But most recently, 2 of the house staff were found dead by a trap in the royal bedroom. Thousands of needles, poisoned, fell on them in the midst of them being intimate with each other. This has immediately thrown the staff and the agents into chaos. Arazu, the noble heir to House Reese, has found a bomb in the shield generator area. Novier has disposed of numerous bodies. Demira is currently going one-on-one with the second housekeeper, Mara. And Sister Lyra has been contacted by Reverend Mother Gaius for some reason, in addition to taking 2 of the housemaids under her wing for possible life in the Bene Gesserit sisterhood. We left off with evening falling. Sister Lyra has returned from getting a message from the Bene Gesserit sisterhood. Novier has been speaking and spending some warm time with Basima, the chef. Demira has been going around with Mara, exercising her right to check rooms, while Mara has been forcibly kowtowed. And Lord Reese has met with a friend of his he called to service to figure out who has been building this bomb. So, agents, a small bell rings throughout the residency, signaling dinner. It seems there will be a group seating. And it seems odd because the thoughts of Ravi and Shakir lying dead, poisoned, still fills the home and the staff. If any of you come into the main dining room, you'll see that the food is very simple. It's not grandiose. It isn't this spread, but it seems simple and personal. It's not spread out across the table, but all in a small area with the chairs moved in close. You see a few people already there, just quietly talking about Razi and Shakir and things that they did to both infuriate them and, well, enjoy their company. Demira, you hear the bell as you are pulling Mara with you throughout the house, checking bedrooms, checking closets, hallways, the office, everything, making sure everything is up to snuff and there isn't any more traps or anything of the like. When you hear that bell in the midst of this, what goes through your head? What are you doing in that moment?
In that moment, basically at this point, I feel like Sister Demira has kind of figured out that Mara may not be the other culprit, so to speak, in as far as the bombs and the traps are concerned. But she has some feelings about Mara. But so she's been purposefully kind of making sure to elongate this process more so than it probably should be. But when when the bell does ring, Demira will turn to Mara. I suppose we've looked at enough rooms for today. Dinner?
Are you sure your investigation is complete? We can forego dinner if you wish.
It's our investigation, Mara. Our duty, equally.
Well, then let's eat. As you motion her, she kind of pauses for that brief second, waiting for you to go ahead. And you just see this annoyed smirk as she turns away from you and starts heading directly to the dining
Demira follows behind.
room. Arzu, the information still fresh in your head about from Tessa's examination of those tools. They're Harkonnen make. They're incredibly delicate. Somebody has to have a very high dexterity in order to use. The parts are simple, but capable of making something just small enough to detonate a single room. And if you put enough around the building, the structure may fail. As you're in the residency and you're kind of going over this in your head, and you hear that bell ring, where are you? Where is your brain going from this? Especially with the pressure that the family is coming very, very soon.
He heads directly for the grand room. Like just No frills on it, just heads right to where everyone's going to gather.
Okay. Lyra, you have come in after receiving that notice, that letter and communication, summoning you in about a week. What is going through your head as you enter through the main hall and you hear that bell ring, especially right after that communication you had?
I think Lyra certainly has a lot to divulge to Reverend Mother Gaius. So I think she's kind of running through her head like everything that she's told Reverend Mother Gaius, things that haven't been told, and different strategies in her mind about how she's going to handle certain situations.
You're heading to the dining room.
Yes.
Okay. Novier, you saw Bossima starting to prepare meals, and she gave you one, just spicy enough, and you saw her physically adding spice melange, just a pinch, to the food to give it that kind of little bit of an acrid, bitter yet cinnamony flavor, and just a hint of heat. And now the bell rings for dinner. You probably have a decent idea of what's going to be served. Where is your mind right now with the impending arrival of the Atreides family and the fact that there is currently, apparently, either a deactivated or somehow still active trap in Paul's room, and you may have not found all of the spies? I do believe you are muted, sir.
So it's not going great, right?
Thank you for the tension breaker there, bud.
I think the biggest thing for Novier right now is that there is prices to failure, and failure isn't something that Novier is used to or known for in the communities that he is known for doing the things that he's doing. Trevor, would Novier know what the consequences for failure would be for an assassin?
You would be killed quietly. You would just disappear, and likely a story, oh, they went off world. You would just be lost in the greater part of the Imperium, as far as everybody else knew. But failing in your duty, as in like the danger to the royal family, yeah, Thufir Hawat will have your head.
And I think especially with my brush like my death brush the last time,
Yeah.
I think Novier's thought process has switched from, can I complete this in the time that we have, to, I need to figure out how big the galaxy is at this point.
Oh,
I think it might be at that point in which, if Novier is headed in the same direction as everyone else, that Arzu would approach him.
by all means.
Master Novier.
Oh, sorry. Where is this? Is this scene happening like in the
On the way to the dining room?
On the way to the dining room. Okay,
yeah, so
we're
like
just
in
walking.
the ballroom on the main level as you're walking toward there.
Lord Reese, how may I be of assistance?
We don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm gonna keep this incredibly brief. How well do you think you can ascertain the dexterity of our friends? in this house?
Uh, God. I I'm trying to figure out if I would be panicked enough in order to tell you at this point, right? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, is there something, like, can you trick me into this?
I'm
Like,
not
is there is
sure
there
what
like a
he's thinking I'm
role?
tricking him into, but
No, I mean, like, it's more so that, like, my concern right now is for myself. I don't know if I would be honest in this, in the scenario. So, like, I'm trying to think of, like, a game mechanic that will make me be honest to you.
Well, you do happen to have, I mean, it could be just a simple communication, but remember, you do have certain traits and talents that may
True.
assist you.
Trevor, is there a way that I can be honest but have it be coded to Arzu at this point?
I don't know. How does Novier's player think he could do that?
Well, I have access to the Assassin's Handbook, and on top
Yep.
of that, I'm trained in counter espionage. So
Okay.
what I want to do is I want to slip some sort of coded message in our talk for Arzu to pick up that
I would
I am very
say,
worried.
run the scene,
Okay.
and if Arzu does not pick it up, you can attempt a communication challenge.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. I feel like this is going to be the reverse because I want to fail it so he knows. Okay, so yeah, let's play out the scene. So can you give me the line one more time?
sure. How skilled do you feel you would be in ascertaining the dexterity of friends here in the house?
Well, Lord Reese, we have had many setbacks, many of which I don't believe any of our machinations have suitably planned for. And I think when I think that when the Atreides do come to Arrakis, I think I think everyone responsible will be dealt with accordingly.
I see. Well, the the wick of the candle ain't quite at the base yet.
Lord
So
Lord Reese, have you enjoyed the food that we've had here?
I mean, it has been fine.
I've quite enjoyed the food that we've had here. And I think that like bit of honesty, right? Like
Mhm.
it's very earnest when he says that, and I think he scurries off right after he says that as well.
Hmm.
And I think what I'm trying to do for Arzu is to set off all of the alarms in his head, like whatever spidey sense he has at this moment. Like, oh no, we need to use that now.
Hmm. Arzu does not follow
Okay.
you. At least as you can tell, not as quickly as you are heading off.
Okay. Yeah, I think Could I have ascertained what what Arzu was getting to? Is that a communication role that I could do?
I think it would be.
Okay.
But do you have a focus for listening or any of the such things?
No.
Okay.
I mean, what man does, Trevor?
You're absolutely right. I mean, we can't even multitask.
Oofa doofa.
He's right.
I'm not saying he's wrong. It hurts regardless.
Well, good night, everybody.
Thank you for coming to Desertfall, and the winner is not JPG.
Oh, jinkies, and also a zoinks.
Jinkies and zoinks. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say a communication entirely depends on what drive you're thinking of using.
Can we play it like this? Like if he succeeds, I can basically kind of give him the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking faith.
And if he fails, you know what you can use.
Okay. I'm thinking faith.
Okay.
Faith is problems are only solved in the quiet, and we are trying to communicate in the quiet moments, right? We're trying to communicate in the moments in between.
True.
How difficult do you think this would be, Arzu? Probably about average, maybe a little difficult, hard to read.
I think he wasn't being terribly coded in his language. So like, I don't think it's going to be that hard.
Okay. We'll say it's a difficulty of 1.
Okay.
If you can get 1 success.
God, I just have the worst feeling that now I'm going to fail this. Because you just need 1 success. Let's see what I did.
Oh, and you crit. So you got 2, you needed 1. There is 1 point in the motivation pool. Good for y'all.
We're doing great, sweeties.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do you think that Novier got
so what Arzu is trying to tell you is that the person they are looking for is very dexterous. You're muted.
I keep doing that. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so the person that I'm looking for is dexterous. You were very specific about using that word.
Correct.
So, okay. So this is going to be a race against time at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the second to last night. Tomorrow, the Atreides advance team shows up. And then the following day, the royal family.
We're at dinner.
Yes.
Okay. We're at dinner though. Has Basima started putting out the food?
Oh yeah. And
Trevor, I have the dumbest idea.
Oh God. Well, go for it. Dude, your dumb ideas have run from killing a water bandit with a porcelain jug to tripping, dropping a plate, and unwittingly outing yourself. Well, I'd say unwillingly outing yourself an assassin to the point of having to kill one of the staff. So yeah, let's go with the wild idea.
My wild idea right now is I want to come out of the kitchen helping Basima carrying an unreasonable amount of plates.
Sure.
And I want to do that trip, and where the food goes everywhere, and I want to see specifically who moves out of the way.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you're trying to pull a Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Except not with a wine bottle. Okay.
Yes.
You are an Atreides assassin.
Yes.
You are extremely skilled in battle and movement and, doing things like that. You can use improvised weapons. But how is your play acting? I say this is going to be a move skill check.
Oh no. That's my worst stat.
Oh, perfect.
Can I add to this scenario?
Oh, yes.
Because I think Lyra would probably be close by and would probably be the one to catch.
You've seen him do this before in the grand foyer.
And I'd like to add that I have Prana Bindu, so I can move.
Ooh. So you're okay. I see. You can go to help and then see who either also moves that fast or gets the fuck out of the way. Nice. Yeah. Okay. I'll drop the difficulty on that then. So yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to add that Arzu was indeed going in the same direction as him. He just wasn't running.
Oh yeah, it's
So-
dinner.
Okay.
It's dinner.
I would like to
Yeah.
add that Demira is not anywhere near this dinner situation. She's actually going back to her quarters. So making a note, I am not there.
Oh wow.
That's a separate
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
Just so that I can have constantly washing / passive scrutiny be
got it.
at the trigger finger. So
Got it. Novier, give me a move plus what drive you think is appropriate. And it will be a difficulty of 2 to successfully trip to it's going to be weird, but to successfully seem like you're clumsy.
Would you let me do truth? Because I am using food as a weapon at this point to my advantage.
No, because it's not a weapon.
Dang it. Okay.
I mean,
technically,
you
anything
can use
is a weapon
truth
for me.
You can absolutely use truth, but that would set up a conflict with your statement. And you could either just challenge it or comply.
Okay, I'm really tempted to challenge it because I really want to see this mechanic on screen right now. How would I challenge this, Trevor?
Well, if you challenge your statement and fail, that means that your statement means too much to you. If you comply with it and win, that statement goes bye-bye. You no longer believe in that.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's risk it, right? We gotta play these characters like they're stolen cars, right? We gotta risk it.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've got that, sure. And there's a general story-wise aspect of it that y'all are running out of fucking time.
Yeah.
So bring it, man.
I love it. Okay, so I'm gonna use truth so that at
Okay.
least helps me out a little bit more.
There is 1 point in the momentum pool. You can use that to buy a D20 if you'd like, and there's always more threat.
Give me threat. I'm gonna give you a threat.
All right, how much?
Just one, so I can
Okay.
get 1 die.
Okay.
All
You're
right.
gonna give me threat rather than using the 1 point of
Oh yeah, because I'm sure somebody else. This is just the beginning of the game. I'm sure somebody else is gonna need it in a little bit.
I mean, sure, man.
Okay.
Let's see where this goes.
And rolling. Focus. Oh!
Nice. Nice. Oh, nice. Okay.
Machi.
That felt good.
We're off to a great start. Look at all these successes. You take this ridiculous pile of plates. You're kind of like pinning them to your chest and your shoulder while you have another dish of hot food, simple noodles, swimming in sauce, some vegetables in it, kind of like just the starchy aspect of whatever this meal is. And Bossimo's walking right behind you with another couple of hot plates. And Lyra, you see him glance around and purposely begin to go off balance as you do the and go to try and help him, and the dishes go flying everywhere. There's a shatter. Food is spilling across the table. People are coming in or already sat, and there's just immediately problems. I have to see really quick in a series of small little whisper rolls. Haha. Who's doing what? Let me see here. One. Okay. One. Okay. Not there. Not there. Okay. Ah. Oh, wait. And Weasel. Okay. As you start to go over, Weasel and Jamelia are already in the room getting ready to sit, ready to sit down. Talora is coming in. Nava isn't there. Shala is coming in from the other side, from not the ballroom side, but where the pantry and the linen and laundry rooms are on the other side of the kitchen. And you start to go. Weasel immediately begins to move in to try and help or catch. Talora and Shala are like, whoa. Jamelia sees it and starts to move to get out of the way. The plates just hit. But Weasel was fast. Interestingly enough, so was Jamelia. But Weasel went to help. Jamelia went to get away. You catch some of the plates. Since I'll give you the 2 successes there, you manage to not spill most of the food. But you do hear this just anguished sigh from behind you as Basima just steps past. Really? How? What?
I'm so sorry. It just it happened so quickly. And when I say quickly, I look right at Arzu.
Arzu, you saw Weasel moving the moment he started to tip. Like hyper reactionary. It took a couple beats for Jamelia to begin pushing her chair back to get out of the way. Everyone else just kind of reacted like, oh. But we saw as the plates were beginning to tilt, she was moving in almost as fast as Lyra, just not quite.
Did I catch any plates by any chance?
A few.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Tried.
There's still unbroken. There's still enough for everybody plus a handful, but this was a ridiculous pile he was bringing in. And Basimo just puts the dishes down. I suppose you're going to help me clean this up? Looking right at Novier.
Oh, yes, of course. And he just starts scurrying a little bit, and he's trying to. You said it was both Weasel and Jamelia, right?
Yes.
Those are the okay. So if Arzu is looking at Weasel, could I ask, because Jamelia is the one that that Lyra is pretty close to, right?
Yes, and Jamelia was the one who had Anton Garrus as the lover, the Harkonnen spy.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, Sister Lyra, would you mind checking on Jamelia? I think I might have given her a scare.
Of course, Novier. I look at Jamelia like, are you
She's
okay?
shaken. She is shaken. Um, maybe just a little bit still going over the day in her head, and then something happening fast, loud noises, and she just spooked. Breathing a little heavy, looking at you and just kind of like nodding her head wordlessly.
Why don't you
Still
grab some
pushed
food
back.
and go up to your quarters?
Uh, I, uh,
You seem
I
a little
thought we were
shaken.
all going to eat tonight together, but I can do that.
Yeah, I think you should have an alone night.
Okay.
Trevor, how quickly did we sell move back after this happened? Like, like what was her movement after she like went in to try and save a plate?
She went in, caught maybe two of the plates, and then as soon as everything happened, she stopped. It was like she caught, stopped, waited for everything to resolve itself, and then went back, put the plates on the table, and is kind of like surveying the carnage.
Uh Arzu slips out.
Okay. Where are you going?
Um he is going because he was coming from the grand foyer essentially
Mm-hmm.
through the ballroom into because we're in the dining room, not the ballroom, correct?
Correct.
Okay. He is going. Wait, are Kora or Umar were they there or are they elsewhere?
They were not in the dining room.
Okay.
Either they haven't
Um
arrived yet or something. They may be still on duty at the main gate. They tend to work a little bit later than the others.
he's going to the main gate to see if they're still there.
Okay. As you're walking out of the main entrance, you do see them. And Cora is kind of urging Umar to like, come on, let's go. And Umar is he looks shattered, but his movements are forced and angry. He looks still just emotionally trashed by seeing Shakir dead and that Shakir was cheating on. But
Um
Cora looks up and he looks at you and he kind of waves and goes back to Umar, and you hear him like, come on, it's going to get cold. We need to go.
he keeps his pace and reaches into his pocket, pulls out a couple of Solaris, and he says, because he's still a few paces away from them.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "For your trouble," and he's going to toss one to each of them, but just off, like if they're standing near each other, he's tossing it just off to the left and to the right,
Oh,
like
okay.
not far enough that they're gonna need to dive for it, but like
Just enough to make
just
them have
enough
to
to.
reach.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Ooh, let's see here. That should be a move roll. And yeah, let's do that. Just using 2 dice. Da, 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 da. Okay. That's interesting. Then, yep, still a move. Yeah, using power. Um, Cora, remember, he's not just the largest staff member, he is big overall. Like approaching decent linebacker / running back. Like the guy could be a defensive end in hockey.
Yep.
He moves very fast and snatches it out of the air really quickly for someone his size. Umar doesn't even realize what's going on and kind of goes for it and stumbles and it rattles down. And Cora's just like, I appreciate it, but you don't have to. And Umar's kind of like scooping his up.
Cora, I would consider it an insult if you would reject that.
And sir, since I respect you, I understand. And he just puts it away. Umar is kind of like looking at Cora, looking at you, looking at Solari, doesn't even ask, puts it in a pocket.
Arzu's going to take a risk.
Okay.
And he's going to get closer to Cora.
Okay.
And I'm just going to throw this out there. Anyone that would see Arzu would kind of naturally assume that he is left-handed because all of the things that he has done up to this point are via his left hand.
Okay.
And you cannot see his right hand at the moment.
Okay.
And he's going to get close and he's, Cora, can I have a conversation with you for a moment?
He kind of like looks past you to the main door and then to Umar. He's like, just get in there, make me a plate. This should only take a minute. And Umar just kind of like mutters to himself and starts heading for the main door. And Cora kind of looks at you, not really confused, but a little bit of like, all right, what the fuck's going on?
Cora, you haven't found anything of note recently, have you?
Other than, well, we did find that one of the hinges on the main gate that has been giving us a problem was slightly out of position.
Interesting.
Other than that, not that I can hear of or know of.
This is going to sound incredibly bizarre, but for what it's worth, I need you to trust me. I need you to keep yourself and Umar as far away from Weasel as you can. Am I understood?
He kind of stands up a little higher, which is like he's imposing.
Yep.
But not in a threatening way, more of the look across his face is like, what the fuck are you saying? And just kind of like cocks his head at you. And he's like, okay.
You care about that boy, don't you?
Umar, of course. I've told you how much I care for him.
That is why I came directly to you to tell you this. If you know what is good for you and that boy, you will stay far away from Weasel. Do you understand me?
Yes. Yes, sir. He looks confused, but earnest.
That's all.
And then he kind of looks at you and kind of starts stepping around you, walking to the main entrance. Will that be all, sir?
It will indeed. And he turns and heads inside for the basement.
Got it. Demira, you successfully lose Mara. And as you were walking toward, like as the both of you were walking out, you hear the dishes shatter, and Mara just at an accelerated walk starts moving in that direction, and you kind of just slip and head to your quarters.
She's specifically heading over to the desk by her bedside that had the book with the schedules and everyone's tasks, daily tasks, that information, to take a look at it or to grab it in order to try to piece some things together in her head.
Okay. Book is there, seems untouched, except for the small section of the spine that's broken, that because it was used as a weapon.
Looking through it, I want to try to see if Demira notices anything with the people who were there present, like who came possibly late and wasn't grouped with everyone else, trying to figure out where they were supposed to be. So basically, if they came from a certain direction, trying to triangulate, like, okay, did this person, was that person's technically supposed to be on the east wing versus the west, that kind of thing. She's now kind of doing that whole like reasoning of, okay, why would that person have been late? Where did they come from? You know, that kind of thing.
Got it.
Were they not where they're supposed to be specifically? So yes, and not including Marum. Now it's focusing on the other people.
Okay. Cora and Umar should be at the front gate as they normally are, unless they've been called away for other duties such as moving something heavy or such like, or on an errand that they need to be on.
You mentioned before, if I'm not mistaken, at the scene where it happened, the room where it happened, that Cora was coming from a set of a staircase. You said coming down from somewhere?
No, he was coming up from the grand foyer,
From the grand foyer
to the main landing. He was coming up the staircase toward the rooms.
Okay, and then that technically, that is the path towards where he was supposed to be at that time, at near the main gate.
Yes.
Okay. Jamelia
was supposedly she was supposed to be working on the bedrooms with Shala. Jamelia came in with more linens after everybody had assembled. So she was just coming into the upstairs main landing outside of the main bedroom.
But technically coming from the direction that would have been the correct direction that she was coming from.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
More or less, because you can either come up the main staircase or down the servants' quarters hallway.
Okay. And then we saw Talura. They were with everyone else, or where were they? And
they were there.
They were there.
They were there with the first group of everybody coming in.
Okay, and they were not late. Umar was present, or did he came late as well?
He came late, but well ahead of Cora.
Okay, and from the same direction that Cora came from.
Correct.
Okay. I think that after kind of going over that, I want to take a look at my quarters real quick.
Okay.
To see if someone had been here previously.
Let's do. Let's see.
That I believe that Lyra actually went into my space.
Yes, she did.
But Demira, I'm speaking as player.
Oh, yeah.
I believe, but Demira, I'm like, I don't know if Demira also too, like if there's been other people potentially, especially because Demira hasn't been doing a good job at not pissing people off. So I think Demira is gonna look around real quick, just in case there might be something pointed at her. You never know.
Give me an understand. How well was Lyra moving? Like, was Lyra doing this subtly? as carefully as possible?
When I was getting the spice,
Yeah.
I don't believe anybody was even in the room. So yeah, she was very subtle about it.
Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a fairly daunting challenge here. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an understand.
Oh,
What
okay.
drive
Can I
would you
argue
like?
something different?
Go for it.
Because of the fact that Demira has certain skills in espionage. So she wants to know if someone with equal skills happen to be in her quarters. So can I argue discipline instead?
Discipline tends to be your willpower, your kind of, I mean, like since it's a drive, I was going to say your drive. But I would say I'll allow it because of, even as a Bene Gesserit, you are under a lot of pressure right now. Not a lot of people like you. And yeah, no, I'll allow it in this case.
Okay.
But what drive are you using? I want to.
In this instance, I think it's actually power, because of the fact that my statement for that is those with true power need seldom wielded. So what she's trying to see is if somebody was in here, kind of trying to, like, she's gonna do with that knowledge as she gains it. She's gonna basically use that to her own advantage without really like making it known that she knows that somebody basically was messing around in her room. Just because, like, gathering that kind of, it's kind of like she's still kind of moving the chess pieces, so to speak, in her mind.
Got it. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this will be a difficulty 3.
There.
Well, all right. Ah. Oh my God. Something is amiss, but you're not quite sure what. It's more of a feeling. It's kind of like something's just not right with the room.
But I'm
Now
not
you
able to
can
determine.
No, you can use that last point of that 1 point of momentum for an additional die if you'd like to try and hit all 3, or you can give me threat. I'm only up to 12 at this point. You know, meteors are coming. Lots of meteors. Smashing into the spaceport. Entire guild highliner is going to come into the atmosphere and just, you know, detonate over Arrakis. It's going to be real bad.
You know, you said I could possibly use the momentum.
You can use the momentum, the 1 point of momentum in the pool to buy 1 additional die. 1 die. Or you can use threat to do the same thing.
It's okay. It's okay. She's gonna kind of lock that away for now. In that instance, because she got the information that she needed, as far as just kind of figuring out who was where and if anything seemed a little suspicious with the remaining people kind of on the chessboard, so to speak. And yes, so she's going to go ahead and leave the quarters, but what she probably would do, she would need to store the book, so she would probably go over to her where she keeps her belongings, with the chest, to put it away.
Got it. Where are you heading to after that? Toward the dining room?
Yes, she's gonna end up leaving the room.
Okay. Novia, you're cleaning up the dishes. Arzu, it's still kind of a mess. And people are oddly, they're laughing and stuff like that. You can hear it there. And then you start to head down the staircase to the basement. Lyra, Jamelia has packed a plate and she's currently on her way to the women's dormitories. And Novia, you're cleaning stuff up. But Arzu, you're taking the staircase down. You've been to the basement before. You've been to the shield generator room. You found that secret room with the materials in it. But as you're coming down the stairs, you sense something is wrong. The more you go down the stairs, the more that vigilance you have.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of bordering on paranoia, especially at this point. Something's not right. Something's off with the smell, or maybe just the light. And as you hit the bottom of the staircase, you can smell it. It's this thick, coppery, kind of almost putrid smell. It's coming from toward the shield generator doors.
Like it would possibly be like a blood kind of smell, or is it like a it
Oh
smells
no,
like
it's
blood?
oh yeah,
It's
it smells
blood.
like blood. It smells like a lot of blood.
Um
But you're in just the beginning of the basement.
yeah,
So you would know.
I'm trying to take stock of who I saw once I smell that. I'm trying to take stock of who I saw um at dinner.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Um
you know where the two footmen were.
yep.
You know that that Weasel was definitely there. Jamelia was there.
Yep.
Talora was walking in.
Mm-hmm.
Nava was not there. And Mara was not there.
Interesting.
But Talora came in almost last.
Mm-hmm. I am moving carefully.
Okay. As you carefully come around.
And just as a heads up, I'm also keeping an eye on the floor so I don't step in like blood or.
Got it. As you're coming around that long shelf that the first time you were down in here, you came around the corner and you saw RVO trying to get Razi to play poker. And they dropped, RVO dropped that bottle of Korean brandy. And as you come around that corner and your eyes begin to adjust to the low light, you see a body surrounded by blood.
Mm-hmm.
Just at the shield generator doors. The doors are closed.
Mm-hmm.
They are not locked, but they are closed.
Can I ascertain who this is?
As you get a little bit closer and you begin to kind of like look at the body to try and, you're trying to figure out. You get into just the right spot and you see vacant, cold, dead, blue eyes. It's Nava. a look of surprise and horror etched onto her face.
Would you say that the blood kind of would impede somebody that wants to go into the shield generator room from going into the shield generator room without stepping in it?
Absolutely. It has
Perfect.
flowed out to the point that once those doors open, some of it may even, remember, those doors are very large,
Right.
like
Yep.
sliding doors.
Yeah.
So like it's probably pooled into the tracks by now. It's large enough that if the door opens and it spreads, it's been there for a while. It's hard to judge how long the body has been there.
Okay.
But the amount of blood is very significant. But yeah, anybody in the shield generator room would have a hard time stepping around or over it. You can't step over.
Okay. He does not obviously say that out loud. Say anything out loud, but his internal monologue is, well, whoever was in that secret hideaway seems to be finished with it. And he is going to go back the way he came, keeping kind of a ear for anyone that is coming his direction. But he's going back upstairs.
Got it.
Not touching the body at all.
You don't hear any other movement in the basement as you're slowly stepping out, except the occasional rustle of some sort of vermin, much too small to be someone. And yeah, you just step away from the open, cold eyes of what was once Nava.
That sucks too, because if there was any chance she was alive, he would have tried something, but
oh no, definitely. Yeah. And it has been a moment. Possibly, just rough guess, hour.
Cool. His direction is to go to Lyra.
Okay.
He's hoping that Lyra is still in the dining room, and he's heading there.
Yep. Last known, she is. And Demira, you come into the dining room, and it's just a mess. Novier is kind of scraping the remnants of just like small shards at this point. People are laughing and kind of like looking over the table at him. Basima is already sitting and eating. And you see Mara is standing at the door to the kitchen, just with a look on her face, like, really, this now? And everyone but Nava is at the table.
Cool. I'm gonna be just a fucking nuisance, Trevor.
Bring it.
Okay, cool. So would you say that there is anything that has a prominent blue color in the room?
Some of the dishware has something blue, like, small, like almost just indecipherable small designs on it. There's occasionally, just a swath of blue here and there.
Anything red? Crimson, perhaps?
There is.
Perfect. So, Arzu is going to enter the room, and not once are his eyes coming off of Lyra as he enters. And he's going to wait to see, and he's going to kind of like, how someone like kind of comes around to like try and catch your attention wordlessly, like if they're in a loud space or something to that effect, how they may just kind of like move until they're in your periph at least. That's
like the
kind of what
creepy guy at a bar.
Yeah. I mean, minus that energy, but yeah, kind
right.
of, hoping that Lyra is going to catch his eyes.
Got it. It's pretty obvious that to the two of you that that is going on.
If we were in modern times, Lyra would do the sup. I got you.
Excellent. So once he's confident, he's going to approach the table and he's going to touch one of the blue dishware pieces and go, this is a striking shade of blue. I never really noticed that before. And he's going to immediately, like after he touches it, wipe his eye, like wipe underneath his eyes. And then he's going to pause and continue to move. And he's going to go to where he believes where his seat is. And he's going to I guess I'm assuming here there's something red on the table, hopefully.
Oh yeah, there's like, probably a small rag being used as a napkin.
Okay.
There's certainly red in the food itself. Various things like that. Maybe like a small flower for a table center.
He's not grabbing the flower seems obvious, so he's gonna go for the rag.
Okay.
Do you mind? I'm just gonna pick somebody that's at this table. Trying to dodge around the people that I know are dead.
God. Well, everybody but Nava.
Yeah, just I'm just. Do you mind if I borrow this just for a moment? I just happen to excuse me. And he puts it to his chest as he like coughs. Not to his mouth, but to his chest. And he's not looking at Lyra to make this obvious, but there is a pointed look for like a second with the red on his chest. And then thank you so much. I appreciate that. And he sets the rag down, and that's the end of the communication. Like from that point, like
that's solid. I totally know everything you're doing there. It's so cool.
And he sits down and like at that point, he'll occasionally look in Lyra's direction, but it's not that same like pointed look that he was giving before.
My question is, did Demira catch this exchange?
Arzu pretty damn well.
If you were in the room, you probably did.
Yeah.
Sorry to jump Trevor, but like you would know that this is like the kind of like communication that he would possibly pull off or attempt to, at least.
The only person that didn't get it was any of the staff that you're aware of, and Novier, since he's kind of busy.
Okay. I feel like Sister Demira would take note of that, and not really in the best way. So I think that if Lyra looked in her sister's direction, I think there is a specific sharp glance that you would see, and then a flicker that kind of changes, but you'll know that there's a like why is he giving you information and not me? It's a very like territorial thing, and in that instance she's not pleased. And then going off of if she said like that interaction, is there a way for Demira to actually know what that meant instead? Because then there's something that she would want to do in that instance.
If you're asking me,
I'm staying out of this.
Okay, cool. If you're asking me, Arzu knows one thing above everything else about Demira and Lyra, and that is that they can have a full-on conversation without ever saying a word. So I think you could probably also gather that, like what he meant by that. And it's kind of like y'all can talk about this. I can't. Like, I don't have that coded ability to have this conversation. So it's kind of like he saw Lyra first. He's trying to say something so that y'all can talk about it right now.
Okay. The other thing from that information, based on Demira just looking at the book and knowing, like, obviously Demira knows the ins and outs of everyone's schedule, what they look like. Will that click as far as the blue eyes being Nava? Like, Nava has like very unique eyes compared to everyone else.
The
And will
only
she
two
put that-
people that have that you've seen in the staff that are absolutely 100% have the eyes of a bod that are still alive is Nava and Mara.
Right. But basically understanding that that message, was there anyone that Nava would have been kind of like how Shala and Jamila are like have a certain like certain duties where they're together for the most part? A lot of the people kind of almost work in groups, even like obviously the footmen. From basically having read that, that's why I'm trying to put two and two together. Who would have been paired up or like kind of in that same area as Nava during the scheduled time?
Nava was supposed to be in the women's dormitories. He was off duty at this time.
Off duty.
Probably for the last, the last shift, she was off duty. And as for friends, not a whole lot. She was the one that was constantly complaining that she does all the real work. She's the one that like follows all the other staff trying to, finish what they didn't do. So she's kind of all over the place, weirdly enough. Like, yeah, finishes her job, but then will be in another part of the home, another part of the residency, helping someone else out or finishing what they haven't done. So very in different places that she's not expected to be.
Okay. And nobody was with her
No.
in that hour or
Not
had
that you know
off
of.
that I
No.
from that information that I had already gathered from the book.
Correct. She was the only one that had any that was off any shift, because the other ones that would have been are either dead or off world.
Okay. But everyone else is currently in the room.
Yes. Nava is the only one missing, minus the dead and or off world people.
So is there any more you needed to communicate to Lyra?
No,
Does
that was
anything else to communicate to me?
no, that was a specific like basically like that, like didn't like that. That was just a note to Lyra, like, why is he communicating with you and not looking for me? Because that is that type of communication where it's like a cutting look. Like you're like, what sister's like, that kind of like.
Yeah, so Lyra is going to look at Arazu with this, why are you talking to me about this? Look. And sees the look that Demira shoots to her and goes, like basically like the look of like, I'm in trouble. Great.
But immediately after that, I think looking around the table, Demira will just kind of like go over to where is Novier still kind of like cleaning up?
Yeah. Basically done. This would be like the last small kind of like dustpan bit, like a couple large chunks and just small fragments.
So she'll cross over almost as if like to help. Interesting. Aren't we missing someone who should be doing this, not you?
Novier did not notice any of this exchange though, right?
Nope.
No, I just am talking to you and like it's her name is Nova, right?
Nava.
Nava.
Yes.
Specifically Nava. Interesting.
Yeah. Um, maybe I can ask Basima where they may be, or what would you have me do?
She says it loud enough, Nava, to see if there's anyone like as she's having this conversation with Novia, to see if anyone responds to where's Nava, pretty much. Shouldn't she be helping with this as well?
Everybody kind of like looks around for a second, like at the empty chairs and all that. And then like Jamelia is just getting ready to leave. It's like, I think she's in her room.
Were you with her previously?
No, she doesn't have a shift right now that I know of.
While this interrogation's going on, I'm watching Arzu's reaction to this because I want to see if did Arzu see her in the chambers or somewhere else.
Arzu's eyes are down.
So I'm going to take that
like,
as a note.
Not in like shame, like he was looking at something and then his eyes went straight down.
Okay, so that denotes to me that it definitely was not in the women's chamber. Okay, so did I know? Basically, I'm trying to figure out location because you gave me who, you gave me what they look like, and you gave me what was going on, but not necessarily the location. Did I know where you were coming from when you entered the dining hall? No. Okay.
I mean, probably not.
He didn't announce say anything about that.
No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, he came in the room via the ballroom. That's it.
So I will ask this from last episode. Arzu and I had a bit of a face-off.
Mm-hmm.
Did Arzu talk about where he was headed next?
Because he did not. So what you missed is that Arzu left the residence, came back.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Roger that. Okay.
Yeah, you just missed each other leaving while you were both leaving the residence. He left before you got to his destination. You got the letter, and then you left. He got back before you did.
Roger that. So what I am going to say is this is something that Lyra doesn't always, actually she never does this. So it's going to be very interesting of her sister's reaction, but she's going to grab her sister's shoulder and goes, like clutches her, like her belly and goes, I need to sit down and not here.
Well, let me escort you back to your room. And then kind of like shoots a look over at Novia and then to Arzu, and then will start kind of leading her sister, like kind of almost like arm in arm kind of like situation, like when you're like helping someone who might need help. Mm-hmm.
Just be careful heading down them stairs. You don't want to catch a cold of any kind. Doesn't look up. Just enjoying his food.
People start chittering. Oh my God, did you know she was pregnant? Novia, when you take in the last of the shattered plates into the kitchen to get rid of them, could you do me a favor and please give me a understand skill check?
Oh.
I will allow you to pick a drive.
Okay.
I'll just say it's you noticing something.
I'm gonna do faith. Problems are only solved in the quiet. Because it is quiet in the kitchen, right?
Yeah. And also what this applies to. Yeah, I'll definitely allow it.
All right.
It is a little bit of a higher difficulty.
What do I need?
You need 3.
What?
Yep.
Is that momentum still in the pool?
That one momentum is still in the pool.
May I use that, y'all?
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't gotta ask.
Yeah, you don't have to ask.
And then, how much thread are you at?
Right now I am at Yeah, too much. I was at 12, 13. Lucky number 13.
Should I get one more die to try and do this? What do y'all think?
It's your choice, man.
Let's do it. Give me one more die.
Okay. My threat pool, let me roll my d20 to 14.
All right. Rolling
Yeah,
4
that's
dice.
4 dice.
And I have no focus and understand.
Oh, bummer. Looking for 3 successes. And you only get 2. You dump off what's left of the, all the shattered plates and everything, and kind of like dust your hands off to make sure there's no, any of the ceramic or porcelain left. And the other, the sisters have left, and Arzu sitting at the table, and in front of you is a large amount of delicious food. And speaking of which, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. I want to get something to nibble on because things are getting wild. We may go a little long tonight. So make sure that you're hydrated, that you've got something in your tummy or something to munch on. And yeah, because hold on, everybody. There's just one day left, and then the Atreides are showing up. So we're going to head on break soon. Make sure that you are using the chat command !Desertfall in order to win the Agents of Dune, the Dune Adventures in the Imperium starter set, and your choice of the limited edition covers of the core rule book. We'll see you in a few moments because I'm personally feeling a bit peckish. So I'm going to go into my kitchen and grab some stuff. So we will see you in a bit. Hi, everybody, and welcome back. I've got my noms and maybe an occasional carrot or two. I hope you all do too, because we are in the run toward the denouement of Desertfall. Remember, or if you're just tuning in now, if you do ! Desertfall in chat as a chat command, you will be entered to win a starter set of Dune Adventures in the Imperium, the Agents of Dune box set, and your choice of one of the 3 variant covers of the core rule book, either House Atreides, Harkonnen, or the Imperial House Carino, which is actually a really cool purple cover and gold. It's really, anyway. In a quick recap, trying to suss out someone who may be deft enough to construct a bomb, Novier dropped a large series of plates. Lyra aided in that deception. And it turned out that Visal moved extremely quickly. So possibly she is a suspect. Arzu went down into the basement and found the body of Nova. Sorry, even I got the name screwed up. Nava. I've got Planet of the Apes on the brain.
That's my fault, though.
I know, yeah. Found the body of Nava, the one of the Fremen housemaids, dead, lying in a pool of blood outside the shield generator. They're trying to figure out who could have done that, as a wordless conversation passed between Arzu and Lyra. And Novier, as you come out, you notice that the sisters are gone. Arzu sitting, I wouldn't say peacefully, but sitting at dinner. But yeah, Lyra and Demira are both absent.
But Arzu is here with me, correct?
Yes, Arzu is here, and the staff are currently, like, a couple of them is like, where is Nava? And a couple are like, I didn't know she was pregnant.
Oh, okay. The conversation was between the 3 of them, so I kind of don't know what's happening right now, correct?
Oh, yeah, you have no idea because it was all wordless and you were busy cleaning up plates.
Okay. I think I'm going to check in with Lord Reese then.
By all means.
Lord Reese, I see that I see that our sisters aren't joining us for dinner. Is there maybe an errand that you had sent them on that I may help them with?
Sister Lyra was experiencing some discomfort and went someplace a bit cooler, darker to relieve that discomfort, I feel.
Would you say that she is feeling under the weather?
I suppose you could say that.
Okay. Well, because now I want to go to the basement. Okay, so, God, I think I would pick up what he's saying. So, I shall bring them a couple plates of food just in case Sister Lyra is feeling better anytime soon. So he, like, scurries to the kitchen and like makes a couple plates to not look conspicuous, and he starts heading towards the way that the sisters went.
Okay.
Ooh.
Where are Demira and Lyra going?
Deciphering what was going on. Lyra is going to take a nice guess and go downstairs and kind of like lead by intuition from there.
Okay.
Like once they're out of range of prying eyes that would possibly see them, like, obviously keeping up the charade of the carrying and helping, and then obviously going in that direction with Lyra.
Yeah, it's actually fairly easy to for the rest of the dining room to mask where you're going, because as you leave the dining room, either through the hallway to the office, either way you have to get to the grand foyer, and you go upstairs to the main landing, and where both the dormitories and both of your living quarters are for the time. And it's very simple to go downstairs, right toward the basement. And the two of you haven't been in the basement. It's very large. Like, as you're coming down the steps, you can hear the echo. It's where they store food, materials, random things. There's like decorative things for different holidays. There's large containers for water. It's just this massive storage area. And as you were both coming down the stairs, you begin to smell that coppery, thick, uncomfortable smell of blood. Coming around the corner,
Why would
see
he lead us down here?
It's obvious that he found something that he wanted to make us aware of. One second.
How close?
No, basically, she's kind of like making sure that, like, basically, if there is someone possibly still down here, kind of like trying to take a look to see if there's anything else that she notices. But please.
Oh, me? No, actually, Lyra, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I would say how far are we from the body that, like, 'cause obviously we're smelling the smell. How far away do we have to be to start realizing what's going on?
As you come down the stairs, there's just a small wall, and then a small wall on either side, just for support purposes. And then it's a very large room. There are shelves immediately to your right and left. There are columns that are, just very, very poignantly structural columns, and just stuff everywhere. But there is a large aisle past the shelves. And you notice on to the left, there's a large aisle. To the right, it's just a series of shelves. Beyond those, there's a larger area where larger things are stored. And as you come up to the corner of the shelving units and you kind of look around, you see a body surrounded by blood outside of this fairly large double sliding door. It looks like it slides apart from the middle and into the walls, and there is a control panel on the side of it, and it is currently has 2 green lights.
Do you see that?
I do.
I feel like
Oh.
Novi should be here.
Funny you mention that. As you begin hearing steps through the grand foyer heading toward the staircase behind you.
Speak of the devil. And
It's
he
just,
shall appear.
just Novier with 2 plates. Just- I assume that we've made progress. It sounded as if Lord Reese wanted all of us to come down here.
For a very good
Well,
reason.
And, like the sisters like separate and kind of like
Hmm.
show what's behind them.
Yeah, for a very good reason.
Yeah.
No.
Can you describe it one more time, like the scene, Trevor?
Oh, so as you come down and they're saying this to you, as they separate, there is a body of what appears to be one of the housemaids in a very large pool of blood, effectively all of their blood, in front of and kind of almost pushed up against a very large, from this distance, looks like a large metal door, or 2 doors, a large sliding door that opens, and there is a some sort of access console with 2 green lights to the side of it. But there is a body
I think
of one of the staff.
I would want to, like, my gut reaction is Novier would go into like work mode, right, and figure out how this body was killed to see if I can find anything. So what would that be? Could I make the argument for discipline on this one?
I would say no.
Dang it.
Because discipline, the difference between the situation with Demira and this one, Demira was entering her own space. So she was attempting to overrule instincts and such like, and really focus. You've never even been in this room before.
Okay.
So you have to take it all in. So you're taking in and processing information.
Can I help
and then
with
applying.
the look because of deductive reasoning?
Actually, yeah. I with that, I will allow it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be 3 dice.
And
And
then,
what exactly are you trying to understand?
I'm trying to understand how this person was killed and if there were any clues that were left behind.
Okay. Are you doing anything with the body? Are you
I would be inspecting the body.
Okay. Yeah, so that will be actually I'd say it's difficulty of 2.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's going to be a difficulty of 3 because I'm burning a threat.
Dang it.
And making it a little bit harder to figure this out.
Would I roll the same amount of dice or just 1?
You would just roll 1.
1.
And
Okay.
Novier will roll 2.
Okay.
Unless you'd like to give me more threat.
And this would be an understand, correct?
Yes.
Understand.
Okay. Hima, I think you should give over threat because you're the better roller than I am right now.
I mean, I don't know, man.
It's sad. It's
Demira-
sad when we're both in a game and you are the better, and you have the hot hand between the 2 of us.
Are we
Demira-
forgetting how badly I have rolled before? Where it's like no
Demira
successes.
can't use threat. She's helping you.
Dang
Oh,
it.
that's true. I can't.
You have to use the threat.
I'm doing it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right.
Okay. Well,
we got this.
I'm
We got this.
I'm back up to 14 now.
Oh no. Okay.
Well, because
not
I
bad.
used
We've had
one and now
higher.
I'm back.
That's true. We've had
We've had
worse.
higher.
We've
Yeah.
had
You've
worse.
hit-
We've had worse.
It
When
was
we
up
get
to, I
past
think,
20.
18 at some point.
Yeah, when we get past 20 is when we get scared.
Meteors.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
see. I would
So that's
say
3 dice for Novier, 1 die
One
for Demira.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do faith on this one. Okay, so 3 dice, no focus. I'll go first.
Mhm.
Oh god,
Beautiful.
Oh my God. Okay.
that's
Here
a
we
fail
go.
crit. That's a crit fail, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So Demira, that's so you didn't hit your focus. Had you hit your focus, that would have been the 3 successes. But
I
look,
know.
there's a complication.
Just the worst.
Now, remember, if you give me 2 threat, you can ignore the complication.
Okay, what would the complication be on this one, Trevor?
I'm not telling you.
Man! What about for like old time's sake?
Fuck no. No.
I say
No,
take
no.
the complication.
I'm gonna take the complication because I want to see how spicy it gets.
Spicy.
Okay.
We're playing on hard note now.
But with your 2 successes, it's difficult to say because the way the body is lying, you see that look of shock, surprised, and also horror on Nava's face, and she's crumpled almost in a fetal position. But it's the very large kitchen knife that is just visible under her body that was probably the cause.
Trevor, don't do this to me.
Either Nava has had the knife with her for some reason, or she was killed by it. Without actively moving the body, you won't be certain.
Hold on.
Okay.
Can Sister Demira assist using Pranabindu? Being able to move her body in such a way where it's helping to like basically she's being ever so careful because she has control over her body. Can I argue that I'm able to somehow, because she's pretty quick and she can maneuver pretty well.
If you want to do a move roll in order to manipulate the body carefully enough not to disturb like the very large pool of blood or step in it or anything like that, I'll allow a move roll. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay.
Can I assist with my Prana Bintu as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
so
and I do have stealth under move because of the fact that she's used to being very careful with her movements.
Yeah, but see, that's being careful, quiet, and using shadows.
Well,
you're not trying to stealthily.
Listen,
if you were trying to stealthily move a body through a city, then sure.
I'm trying. I'm grasping at straws. Okay,
I appreciate it though.
I know.
So
it's a move.
Move.
Yeah, Lyra, you are rolling 1 die, and it's a move plus the drive. And then right now, Demira, you're rolling 2 dice, a move plus.
So I can't use my focus. Pretty much, that's what you're saying.
No, you cannot use your focus.
All right.
However, you can still purchase more dice if you need to by giving me even more threat.
No.
Okay. Not bad. Okay. Look at that. So not only did you hit the 3, but you also now have 1 point in momentum. The 2 of you working together, not just as sisters of the Bene Gesserit, but as sisters, carefully. And Novier, watching this, it's like a very macabre dance. They are moving in opposite directions in order to turn a part of the clothing, pivot a foot while manipulating an arm. And it's just this interesting movement. And without really even changing the body's position in the pool, Nava is turned over. There is a kitchen knife, a large one, like one of those decent sized Santoku knives. Nava has been not just stabbed, savagely stabbed. And her hand seems to be just resting, her grip very loosely wrapped around the handle of a crysknife. Whatever happened to her happened so quickly, she couldn't even draw it. And a silence and a chill fills the stream. And you know how fast Mara was pulling that crysknife.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Mara being a Fremen.
Okay, but I'm talking above board here now. Why would a
Yeah.
Fremen try to kill a Fremen?
No, that's what I was gonna say, because she already made it clear that she's very much like for her people. I also too think that above board, I'm like,
Yeah. Who else is fast with a knife though? AKA who else is in the kitchen? I don't pay attention to the kitchen, so
It's
oh yeah,
And-
Novia would know this because
Yeah.
Novia's been in the kitchen multiple times.
And to
all right,
remind
so
the
jump.
agents, Mara specifically said Nava could not be a spy.
Mm-hmm. No, yes, no, that was Nava wasn't even on my radar, personal,
Yeah.
like as a player.
All right, I'm gonna
Um,
drop back into character. So Lyra turns to Novia after seeing it's a butcher knife, correct?
mhm.
Yeah, like a decent butcher knife.
And also as somebody who just recently cut their finger with a knife, how much of a serration is there? Is it like
No, it's clean.
it's a clean cut? Okay,
Yeah.
noted. Novia, who else in the kitchen do you think would be able to move this quickly?
I think Novia thinks back. It's really just Basima that he's dealt with, and then just once in the kitchen, because she always makes the point that nobody ever helps her, right?
Mm-hmm. You've only seen Jamelia in the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
you and Basima.
Mm-hmm. And I brought oh my gosh, the other handmaid.
Oh, Shala. Yeah, you brought
I brought
her.
Shala once.
Yeah. And then she went off to do something.
I do not think this could have been Basima's work. She moves too slow, too deliberate in the kitchen, but the only other person that I can think of would be Jamelia, who spends just as much, who spends maybe not just enough as much time, but a significant amount. Maybe significant amount in order to sneak a knife.
I'll be
And
right back.
Demira, you would
Lyra-
know. You would know that staff-wise, Jamelia is scheduled in the pantry. One of her shifts is in the pantry, right next to the kitchen.
According to the log, technically Jamelia was assigned to the pantry area, sister.
On that note, that's where Lyra basically turns on heels and like bolts.
What about for since we saw also was promoted to look over things, where was she?
We saw at the time, well, within the last handful of hours, we saw should have been monitoring any cleaning in the ballroom unfortunately by Talora. So Weasel was doing,
Yep.
their jobs have switched. And also just doing a general check of the all of the linens that were already put on places, like, well, naturally not the main bedroom because that's still a horrific scene, but making sure that the guest bedrooms have already been clean and linens have changed, the dormitories have been clean and linens were changed, and such like. She was
Okay.
more in an administrative role
Okay.
over the
Oh,
last 2 or 3 hours.
did we take note of how long the body has been basically how long they've been dead?
Minimum of an hour, maybe more.
Okay. And that's okay, that's something that's obvious to see. Oh,
Yeah. It was still a little stiff.
what about
No,
was there a struggle? Like, you know how like sometimes when people are clawing or like are fighting, trying to fight back, was
No.
there any sign of struggle?
no.
So they weren't, if she was stabbed from the front, not the back.
Stabbed from the front faster than she could draw her Chris knife.
Okay. Because that makes a difference. Okay. Noted.
Lyra, you're moving up the stairs.
Mhm.
As are you going directly to the dormitories, or are you cutting through the kitchen or the
I'm
dining room or
going
anything?
directly to Jamila in the
Okay.
dormitories.
Super easy. Right up the staircase, main landing, hang a right, and then you're there. Her door is open and she has her back to the door. And just on a very, very low table, almost like slightly higher than an end table, just sits a half-eaten plate of food, and it looks like she's just staring off into space. Shoulders are sagged a little bit.
There's two ways I could do this. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with this way. Um, Lyra stops at the door and looks at the young lady a little bit like slopped over. And it kind of reminds Lyra a little bit of Lyra when she was a young girl, dealing with Reverend Mother Gaius. Um, she always kind of had a little bit of a hard time aligning herself to the sisterhood growing up. And so she can kind of empathize a little bit with kind of how Jamila may be looking at this point. Um, but duty calls, and so Lyra steps into the bedroom, clutches her belly, and makes a like a small like to kind of announce her presence.
Jamelia immediately turns, and there's like momentary look of fear and then concern.
Lyra
Madam, are you okay?
Lyra starts to drop to the floor.
Jamelia immediately just moves out of the chair and goes to help you.
Oh, thank you. I just there's so much going on.
Sit. And she kind of like motions you to the bed.
Thank you. There's just so much distress and fear running through that I have a hard time controlling how I feel right now.
Are are you with child, miss?
Can you keep a secret?
Yes, you helped me with Anton. You've been telling me about the sisterhood.
Yeah, I have. Before I tell you your secret, my secret rather, I need to know something from you.
Yes, ma'am. What? Anything?
And I'm going to use the voice on her.
Oh shit. All right. Um yeah, hit me with a God, she trusts you and all that. Hit me with a communication. And honestly, it's I'm not even gonna make it challenging. Get one success. It's this
Okay,
is
I'm gonna
this. I'm almost tempted to just give it to you, but no, you got to roll.
I'm gonna use power as my drive, as my statement is power is given to those who can keep their composure. And I think right now Lyra is winning her composure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No focus.
Okay. Yeah, you hit one, and as you begin that, your lips begin to move, and there's that moment of just speech jamming that happens. You see her immediately start to just relax before you actively begin saying something. Your willpower alone is beginning to affect her. What do you say?
Have you killed anyone in the last 24 hours?
No. No, I would never.
Do you know where Nava is?
No. Her door is closed.
Would anyone ever try to frame you?
Only Anton.
Above board, Anton's the one that we killed earlier, right? Like
Oh yeah. Yeah. Killed,
just,
burned down his house. Yeah. Kind
just
of
making
kind of
sure that
did.
I remember all these details.
Yeah, did the number on him. Yeah.
Okay.
He was the Harkonnen the outside Harkonnen spy.
And where's Shala, by the way?
Shala's at dinner.
Huh. Okay, back in character. When was the last time you were in the kitchen? Truly in the kitchen, not the dining room getting food.
I helped Basima with materials from the pantry. I dropped
Do
off
you know,
some flour.
do you notice anything missing?
No.
Lyra is gonna stand up, a little wobbly. You can pretend to be a little bit wobbly for a second. And oh man, not what I expected to happen in that conversation.
You see her eyes are beginning to clear, and and a little bit of, actual consciousness is coming back to her.
You okay?
Yeah, I was just, this is horrible.
What?
Everything that's been going on with Shakir, Razi, and Anton and everything. It's just, everything happens so, I just don't feel safe.
What if I were to take you away from all of this?
Where? Where could I go?
That is for Reverend Mother to decide. But I think your training should start soon.
I would have to leave this residency, and I'd have to leave, would have to leave here.
Perhaps, yes.
I've never been to another planet.
It is very interesting times.
Don't you have to be here with the family when they arrive? Would I go with
Potentially.
you? Would you send me away?
wouldn't send you away precisely. Perhaps there are things that you can help me with. And I promised you a secret, and so a secret you shall have. Yes, I am with child.
Before he started to, I thought that maybe Anton and I going to have we're going to have children. I've always wanted a family.
She'll have a family, but not the family that you think or can decide for. It would be sisters who, no matter what happens, will always, always have your back.
I trust
I
you.
have trust is a fickle thing, but I have some business to attend to.
Yes, ma'am.
I need you to stay here and stay safe. I
Yes,
will
ma'am.
come for you soon,
Yes, ma'am.
sooner than you think.
She just kind of like nods, looks concerned, but also focused. A little bit more than she ever has been.
Also, something you should know about the sisters: we only allow others to see our pain when we want to.
That is powerful. And she just kind of like nods to herself as you say that.
And Lyra stands up, helps her up from the ground, and lets her eat her food. And Lyra walks out of that room, mildly perplexed. Totally thought that that was going to be who she like thought killed Nava. So now she's like back to like square one of like, well, who done it?
Arzu. Dinner is going as dinner goes. It begins to get somber. It turns to the topic of their names aren't said, but people are making overt mentions of Shakir and Razi, RVO leaving, Aisha seemingly just left. And it's getting a little bit more somber.
Arzu's keeping to himself. Who is still at the table at this point?
Bossima is looking like she's ready to get up because dishware and cleaning. Mara's sitting by herself, kind of on the far end of the table, eating and just trying to avoid everything. Talora looks like she's kind of in the long haul talking to people. Shala is done eating. Weasel's done eating. Umar hasn't touched his food. And Cora is also just very quiet. He looks kind of antsy.
Arzu is just like anyone that pays enough attention to Arzu can see that he's in thought. He's not hiding that. He's actively thinking about something. Left hand. He's kind of if he's eating with his left hand. He's maneuvering in that regard. He does take a moment to compliment Basima on the food and thank her.
She kind of like sits up a little straighter when you say that, and looks around the table.
But that is it. He is waiting for the sisters to return. And he is thinking about something.
Okay. As Bosima gets up, and all that, Mara's not moving. Talora is pointedly and still has been uh uh wow, my mind just went blank. Right. Skirting, doing anything, just like pointedly staying rooted. Umar, again, nothing. As Bosima gets up, both Weasel and Shala get up, kind of like as one. And then Shala sits back down, and Weasel looks at Bosima and is like, "Do you need help?" Bosima is shocked. And looks around for Novier real quick, doesn't see him. Yeah, just grab those dishes and just bring them inside, and mind the box with the broken ones in it. And Weasel starts cleaning the empty dishes and the ones that people are done using. There's still food on the table.
Arzu makes a note of the fact that they both stood up at the same time, but like doesn't really like he just notes it but doesn't make a show of anything. Then he will stand slowly, and he is going to make a gamble by trying to figure out where Demira or Lyra or Novier would be coming from, and he is going to head from the dining room towards the ballroom.
Okay.
Slowly.
Taking it casual.
I think would it be fair to say that like the only person or persons of staff that have seen Arzu move in any sort of like graceful way would have been Arvio, who is clearly no longer here, and Razi, who obviously is no longer here?
I would say yes, because
Okay.
any sort of graceful moving, combat, etc., no one else was around.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted. I what I'm saying is Arzu is keeping up the idea that he does not move quickly.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. No one else would know.
Cool. Then he is moving towards the ballroom, hoping that, like, if he doesn't intercept anybody, grand foyer, and then hopefully staircase, basement.
Got it. Speaking of basement, you've got a sister of the Bene Gesserit and an assassin currently looking at a dead body. Lyra has gotten up and left quickly, leaving the two of you alone with this body.
Well, Novia, what do you suggest we do? The moment that we inform the others, we won't have the time to thoroughly look into this further.
Nava was down here for a reason. And I think I think Novia looks back at the door and if Nava was not fast enough to take out their crysknife before everything, what was so important about right here in this spot? And Trevor, you had mentioned the panel with the lights and everything.
Mhm.
Would we know what that is?
I mean, it's an access panel. It likely opens and or secures the door. If you would
What's up?
assume if the door was secure,
Mhm.
it
I
would
also
be
too,
red.
technically Demira does know about what happened because of the fact that I forgot that Arzu did actually tell Demira ahead of time. So if he says that out loud, Demira will turn to Novi again after kind of like looking at the body. Oh, I forgot you're not aware of what we found or what Lord Arzu found down here. There's a secret compartment. I believe that's what that panel's for.
Well,
There were components to, let's say, seemed explosive in nature.
so it sounds like either Nava came about this place on purpose or on accident. And either way, it was enough to just it was enough for the person to take their life.
It could be that perhaps she saw the guilty party down here and had to be eliminated. Or perhaps she was drawn down here, maybe as a message for Lord Arzu.
Maybe they were drawn down here, maybe they came upon this, but Nava Nava doesn't usually spend time in a place like this, correct? Who would be able to who would spend time here without being noticed, but then also be able to draw Nava in?
Based on that question, Trevor, would anything come to mind as far as anyone who has been no one's assigned to the basement area, correct?
No, it's a
Currently.
storage area. If they need something from there, they would go get it.
Right.
But no one is directly scheduled. If it was like any sort of reason to clean the basement, multiple people would be assigned, but it would be a one-off thing.
But
God, this is like a
also
horrible space version of Clue. I love it.
but also whoever it was has a special knowledge again of things such as how to prepare a timed bomb, how to prepare traps. This person is no novice. They can't be. So who also has that ability? Not only a dexterous person, but a knowledgeable one at that, for the nefarious. Should we look inside? Now, mind you, if we do, that would also too possibly point fingers in our direction, which we also don't want.
Both of you start to hear footsteps echoing through the grand foyer toward the staircase.
But it may be a little too late for that.
I move to the staircase. Like just at the bottom of it, but like just out of sight.
Demira will move because you mentioned that there was certain areas that were basically like where things were stored or like it was kind of like stuff on against the wall or
Yeah, there's stuff against the wall. I mean, think the area you're in is like one of the big wide aisles of certain large orange chains of hardware stores.
Mhm.
And then everything else is kind of like just packed in, but you're in the one main access aisle.
Okay, because she's using subtle step. I mean, I feel like I think Sister Jamira would move, like see what Novia is about to do, and also position almost like in like to try to basically hide. So then that way, in case there is something that happens, like she can also to act as well and possibly flank. But because she's 5'4", I feel like she's probably able to hide, but if there's stuff that's stacked up, she can
Oh, yeah.
easily hide behind things in the shadows somewhere.
Oh,
So I think that that's like she's going to be very careful to not make any noise and to move in that direction.
You have subtle step, you have a focus of stealth, and you have a fairly decent move score. I'm just giving that to you.
Thank you.
Like, come on.
And controlled breathing
Yeah.
for
Yeah, and
reasons.
Prana Bindu.
Not a
Lyra,
sound.
from the top of the stairs, as you're coming back, finishing, you see the casual saunter of Lord Reese coming out of the ballroom, just casually making his way through the grand foyer toward the basement staircase.
Lyra.
Arzu. I mean, Lord Reese.
Oh no, Arzu is fine. You know that by now. Would you suffer me a moment?
For you, of course.
There is a thing a sister of mine used to always say to me, and it went a little something like this. Wonderful adventures await us in the world of books. Imagination is our only limit. Stories transport us to different times and places. Always remember, every book opens a new journey. Let's embark on this magical journey together. Doesn't look at you at all while he says that.
Fascinating quotation. What made you think of me to say that?
Let's just say it's a olive branch of sorts.
Is it now?
Well, at least that is the attempt. You can do with it what you would like.
Lyra's gonna step close. Like uncomfortably close.
He doesn't move.
Tell me one thing, and my allegiance is all yours. I'm activating the voice.
Okay. Okay. Here the fuck we go. Right. This is going to be repeating.
Before you say anything, Trevor.
Yeah.
I think it's fair that Arzu knows this.
You know it exists.
He's
Demira,
seen it. He's
Demira
seen it
has,
happen.
Oh, you've seen her do it to somebody.
Correct. I don't think he's going to fight it.
You're not fighting it?
Nope.
Okay. Then yeah. Lyra, just give me a communicate check. It's a average difficulty. You need just one. And this is for basically you're seeing if you can make it of like not as overt, that it's like subtle, that it's no one else can really hear you because the grand foyer is a pretty big fucking room.
Not a problem. I'm gonna use my justice drive.
Oh yeah.
My statement is justice is served to those who seek too much power.
Rude. Yeah, give me them 2 dice.
Yeah, that felt like a personal attack.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Oh, not just easily, but aced, and 2 are in the momentum pool.
Ay, ay, ay.
That's what I was hoping for.
Oh, Arzu, it is just, you've seen it and you begin to feel it before your will is just surrendered.
Arzu, what feelings do you have for my sister?
She is incredibly competent. She is an amazing strategist. I would not be anywhere close to where I am now without her.
I see. Arzu, how do you feel about Novier?
The incident in which he crashed, and I don't know anything about the voice to know if I can place sarcasm in that or not, but I'm going to. Into that gentleman alerted me almost immediately that he was an assassin. I think, based off of recent conversations, that he is afraid, and I do not blame him.
Lord Reese, how do you feel about me?
I think there are shadows over your eyes that will take quite a while to uncover.
Final question. What do you expect to gain here in this area?
I expect that we do a satisfactory job, and my father and mother will have respect placed on their name.
That's
I am
it.
here for them, no more, no less.
I'm gonna ask this one other way. Tell me your truth, Erazu, and the full truth. Why are you here on Arrakis?
We are here, and by we I mean myself, to do the job that the Atreides asked of us so that House Reese may advance in standing.
Duty before all else.
I am still the heir, but it is important to me that my father and mother advance before it is my time.
Arazu, you have won my allegiance. What is it that I could do for you?
Trevor, would I have enough control to not just blurt out, "Hey, this is the person I suspect"?
Oh no, when she asks you that final question before the allegiance thing, you can feel yourself come back.
Okay, cool. I just
So
didn't know how long. I didn't know how long the.
It's short.
Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty short. It's usually a few questions, an action, like, give me the knife, kill him, come here,
Okay,
Neil.
good to know.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Arzu glances over his shoulder to see if there's anybody headed this way or lingering that would hear. All I ask of you, Lyra, is that you help us do the job we were sent here to do. And I believe that getting to rule out Shala has, and the scene that you likely stumbled upon downstairs. He like raises an eyebrow as if like it's a question rather than like he anticipated it. If you haven't, you may want to. I think that and his voice like lowers. I'm not going to lower it because I want the mic to pick it up. I think the only person left is the person I just named.
I see.
And to go one further, it is, I think, my mistake to have placed them in that position.
So what
he's
I'm hearing,
he's referring to the fact that like basically Demira put Weasel in power, but he's taking that on as his responsibility.
got it. So just to clarify, so I understand this correctly, you want me to take out Weasel.
That's who he suspects.
Copy. As you wish, my lord.
Oh, again, it is still Arzu to you.
Yes, my lord. As she like pulls her like hood
Don't
further.
you fucking accidentally, yes, Prince Jake. Don't call me Prince Jake me right now.
I gave my allegiance.
You should know, you of all people, almost as much as Demir at this point, should know how fucking Arzu feels about allegiances. He doesn't use people like that. And you got your answer when you asked him what his purpose was.
Absolutely, but there's got to be a little bit of sass.
All right, fine. You can have the sass. You can have the sass.
Just a little.
The two of you in the basement hear, you don't hear what's being said, but you do hear kind of a hushed conversation going on at the top of the stairs. It's two people.
Before that particular scene ends, Lyra, I want you to know that I'm just telling you who I suspect. If it is my intention to take care of this, but should I fail, well, I would leave it to Sister Demira and yourself and Novier, of course. And then he basically kind of like in a roundabout kind of way informs you that he found the trap downstairs, like found the room, and that he said he basically called them out and he's waiting for them to approach him. So you basically get the information that there is a secret room in the basement. Arzu found it. He took the tools. He doesn't say what he did with the tools, but he took them. And that he left a note saying, I know, with his stylized A, find me. Underneath the I can't remember words now. Underneath the table in that room. Yeah. You just get that quick, fast, and dirty.
To consider it done, you need to find yourself in your quarters so that no other sanguine liquid is spilled.
Sister Lyra, you know that I know that my quarters are likely compromised, but
then go to mine. Seek shelter and close the door.
I will do something like that. And he winks. And he casually walks, and if you allow him, he casually walks away.
Yep, Lyra's turning on her heels to go find her sister.
Yeah, last you know, she's downstairs in the basement.
Arzu is heading up the stairs towards the main landing.
Okay.
What can we hear?
You can hear two sets of footsteps. One is going away and one is coming toward you as the conversation ends.
Oh, okay. Can we recognize the voices or no?
No,
From
it's
where
just
we are.
it's hushed. They're not directly at the staircase. You can just hear murmurs
Mm-hmm.
because you're down a floor, and yeah, the echo of the grand foyer makes it weird.
Okay.
But there are definitely steps coming toward you.
Okay.
They seem familiar.
Okay. Does
And
Novier do anything?
Yeah, what's Novier doing?
So
He
we can't
secretly-
see them, right?
No, it's like he secretly palmed the Chris knife, and he's
I don't know. I don't want to, because that feels like for JPG, that feels like it's like a very like religious and sacred tool. So like I
It
didn't
is.
want it. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to mess with that at all.
absolutely is. It is a tooth of the maker.
I think I'm just going to. Because if we're caught with the body, then it puts suspicion on us.
Yeah, just a little.
But you said I recognize the footprint or footprints. What am I talking
they
about?
sound very familiar.
Okay, then Demira will come from behind where she was like originally going to take position, and she'll just motion over to Novier, kind of like a slow your roll, slow your roll, breaker of necks, crusher of throats.
I was just gonna murder whoever came around the corner. So I'm glad that you're taking lead on this one.
Yeah,
Lyra,
as you come down the stairs, you see Demira just slightly out in the open, kind of looking off to the side. And a small shuffle, and there's Novier. They were obviously in some sort of ambush position.
Well, I am certainly glad that somebody had some sense about themselves. She looks at her sister. Like,
well, we can't be too harsh given the circumstances, sister.
I
Did you
see.
gather any information?
I did. 1, not Jamila. 2, ran into Arzu. 3, suspicions on Weasel. 4, there is some sort of situation down here that is concealed, figured
That's
out,
correct.
and a note left by Arzu. 5, I have sent Arzu to safety. Whether or not he heeds my warning is entirely up to him. I don't know how, sister, you managed to be under. Anyways, point being, everything is settled. We have our suspect. Novia, you need to do what is best, what you're best at.
I hand the 2 plates to the respective sisters because I'm still holding them. And yeah, and I think he just like disappears without saying anything. And yeah, he's I think now it's very specifically like on screen, like Novier is fully on the hunt.
Oh, creepy.
Question, is there food on the plate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got food for the both of you.
So it cuts to the sisters like.
No, Demira's just gonna take whatever piece and then eat it and kind of like look at her sister because of the fact that it's like
I'm waiting just in case my sister eats it first.
An assassin just handed you 2 plates of food. Yeah, I would do the same.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, now that we say it out loud.
I ate it just to make sure. So that was kind of me looking at my sister like, I guess, like basically like obviously my body, I would process things if it was poison. And it's like there's just like a shrug like,
All right. Yeah, Lyra starts to eat the food because, well, she is with child.
So how should we handle? And then she looks over, like quickly looks over. We know what's in the room, or probably not in the room anymore. But there could be a message there. Perhaps this one was just wrong place, wrong time. Or was she going to retrieve the message? But I highly doubt that.
Or did she know too much?
She saw too much, perhaps.
Well, I feel as though perhaps leaving the body here will help corroborate our story once Weasel is found. It'll be evidence that we have truly laid to rest this adventure. If we clean it up, it looks like there's blood on our hands. And we have to explain, and then it'll become our word against whomever else's.
I told Novier something similar. So let's not linger about here.
Precisely.
And then she looks to make sure there's no crumbs spilt as they go head upstairs.
Even investigating the body, Novier had those very well balanced.
Yeah, just
there are priorities and there are priorities. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Assassin and steward.
Yeah.
of course. You can do both.
Amazing.
Both is good.
Yeah,
Amazing.
right? Yeah, get you a man who can do both.
Do both.
both.
There we go.
Novier,
Duly noted.
you are on the hunt. Where are you heading? You are upstairs. You are in the grand foyer. When you left, people were in the kitchen and dining room as things were starting to get cleaned up.
I would head outside to the guards.
Outside? Okay. As you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I'm thinking because if House Atreides is supposed to be coming tomorrow, correct?
Yep.
This person, whatever they did, is getting the heck out of there tonight. So I want to go check with the guards to see if anybody has left.
Okay. As you exit the main entrance, you notice that that Cora and Umar, I was going to say Kumar,
Harold and Kumar.
Yeah, exactly. Umar and Cora are not there. Either they haven't returned to their post or they're off for the evening. Something. They are not there.
Huh. So, but then there's nobody at this like front gate then, right?
Nope.
I would go back inside, find the first person that we can, and ask where the people that are supposed to be tending to our gate are.
Okay. Last as you knew, everyone was again in the dining room, and getting there is pretty easy. And you notice most of the plates are cleaned up. You do notice that Cora and Umar are in a corner having a very heated discussion.
Oh.
And no one else is in the room. You hear Basima moving things around and all that. You hear the voice of Weasel in the kitchen as well. But no one else is around, just those two.
If I'm supposed to be looking for Weasel and I hear that they're in the kitchen with Basima, who is like the one person I care about, I bust into the kitchen.
Like bust into the kitchen?
No, like okay, I'm going to
you gotta tell me how you're approaching this, man.
I am going to I'm gonna grab a few more dishes off the table and then walk in so it looks like I have business being there.
Okay. As you walk in, you see Weasel is drying and Basima is washing and handing, and Basima looks up and it's like, I was wondering when you would come back. I mean, I have help, but more merrier, less hands, more work. Wait, no, more hands, less work. And just laughing. And Weasel actually chuckles a little bit at that. They seem that it seems the general idea is that they were getting along fairly well.
Oh, Basuma, my apologies. There was some. I had to attend to some house chores, but Basuma, would you mind if would you mind there's a how can I get her out of here? I'll say this, Basuma, we have we have both more hands and more blessings. Well, why don't you let Weasel and I take care of the rest of the kitchen duties, and why don't you have an early night? Maybe visit your daughter outside of the grounds.
Basima looks at you confused, just and kind of like looks at the two of you, and Weasel is just like, no, 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 go, no, we can do this. You haven't seen your daughter. And Basima is like drying her hands on her apron, and kind of like just begins taking it off. It's like, I may not see them for a long time if once the Atreides get here. So thank you. And she just very honestly hugs you, Novier.
Oh,
And just gathers up some stuff and packs some food that was left over and starts stepping out of the kitchen.
I follow her to to like close the door of the kitchen.
Mhm.
And I immediately block the doorway with something. Just anything
Okay.
that's around there.
It's like there's like probably a rolling cart or some like small movable cutting board, like like kitchen block, something like that. Weasel is still drying dishes, not really paying attention.
Are there any other entrances or windows or anything like that?
There are two entrances to the kitchen. Sorry, three. There's one from the ballroom, one from the dining room. Sorry, no, five total. I'm an idiot. Ballroom, dining room. There's a staircase up to the servants' quarters, linen, and pantry. It's a very accessible room,
Okay.
being that it needs to be.
But there's a pantry. Is it a walk-in pantry
Yes. Oh no, it's an entire room.
with only one entrance?
Correct.
I ask Weasel to, oh, would you mind grabbing a few things and helping me in the pantry when you can?
She kind of like cocks her head for a moment. Just like sets down a plate. Um, sure. Yeah. Basima didn't say anything about.
Oh, well, there's just a few things lying around. I'd rather this be nice for House Atreides' arrival tomorrow. Just place these, and like he like hands a few things and like like kind of like ushers her into the room itself.
Yeah, and she just very simply just takes them and begins heading into the pantry.
I'm walking right behind her, and I slowly lock the door.
Are you doing this obviously?
No.
Okay. I definitely need you to make a move roll.
Could this be discipline?
Uh I'm going to say no.
Dang it. Okay, would this be a move then? Would you say this is
Yes.
a move?
Yeah,
Okay.
move.
Would you then say that I'm gonna roll faith then?
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
that-
your problems are only solved in the
Solved
quiet.
in the quiet.
Oh,
Yeah.
you bastard.
Okay. What's the difficulty for this?
2.
Okay, so
Because
that means that they're that means that whatever I'm getting into, they might be very skilled. So I'm gonna give you a threat.
No, there's momentum.
Okay.
There's momentum.
Oh, there's
there's
momentum.
momentum.
There is
Oh,
momentum.
Okay, wait. Okay. I'm gonna use momentum on this one.
Okay. You can yeah, the first die costs 2. The first die costs 1. The second die costs 2. So there's currently only 2 points in the pool.
Just the
So,
one. I'm gonna use the
okay.
one. All
Yeah,
right.
give me 3 dice.
All right. Come on. Trevor, I never get to do anything in this game.
Oh, except like expertly and silently kill Aisha in the middle of the grand foyer. After failing a roll, you go to lock the door, and the door's just not set right. So there's a little bit of a jumble, but there's just enough noise that as the door chunk, you hear Weasel turn around. Why are you locking the door?
I think okay. I want to throw a controlled punch. Have it be as fast as I possibly can make it, but not hit her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me let's go battle. Here we go.
All right. Does assassination? Oh no, assassination wouldn't count on this because I'm not trying to kill her.
Yeah, no, this
Okay.
your focus would not come into play here. No.
And then would truth be okay for this, or would duty be better?
It's up to you.
I want to do truth because it gives me a higher number.
Well, then do truth.
All right.
Do you believe this person is a target?
I do, because of all the pieces that we've placed together.
Are they possibly going to be a threat? Then yes, truth applies.
Okay. All right. So I'm no special stuff, no threat, nothing. I'm just gonna roll. What's the success on this?
3, because I'm
What?
adding threat to the situation.
How many more momentum do we have?
1.
Okay. I'm using it.
Okay.
All right. So rolling 3. No focus. Dude, I never get to do anything in this game.
As you step forward and throw the punch. Now I'm going to check something. This is going to be fun. Okay. I am going to do. Why didn't you populate that? Stupid. That, yep. And then faith. And I'm spending that. Roll 3 dice, and there is a focus. Let's see. Ooh. So you go to throw that punch, and suddenly the small container of spices and the bowl with just some, some sort of sealed material in it are thrown in your face. And you start to stagger back. And then as you stagger, you are pushed against the door, and a crysknife is at your throat.
Oh no!
Who are you and what are you doing here?
I would say, is speaking like this the same courtesy you gave to Nava, and then it's the fight.
Wow. Okay. Now combat does happen effectively at the same time. It will be more difficult for you because you are in such a compromised position. What is your action? Because I know mine.
I've locked the door. The door is
Yep.
directly behind me. I'm pressed up against it.
You are pressed up against it. There's zero distance between the two of you, and a sharpened crysknife is at your throat. Just pushed.
Yeah. The thing that I would do is, yeah, no, I have to take control of the wrist and the hand. So that's my move. I take control of the wrist and the hand.
Okay. Give me battle plus whatever drive.
Battle plus truth.
Okay.
And then
You're looking for 3.
looking for 3?
Yep. You are way out of position.
Is there? No, sorry, I shouldn't interrupt.
No, I kind of wait,
Yeah,
what were we
no,
gonna say?
no.
I was
What?
just gonna.
Bring it
I was
up.
gonna say, has he used determination?
No,
Would
not
that
yet.
be helpful? Okay.
Yeah. None of you have used your determination yet. So for spending determination, you can do a handful of things, including get an automatic critical success on 1 die.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. I mean, it's probably a good idea.
Okay, so mechanically, how can I do this on screen?
You already have 2 successes. So
Okay.
however many dice you want to roll, we're going to add 2 successes to that automatic.
I'm just gonna roll the 2 and hope for the best.
Okay.
All right. And would assassination count as a focus on this one? Because I know to control.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. All right. And then. Oh! Wah! Ah!
So that's a total of 5
That's a total of 5.
A lot of momentum.
versus
Fail. Trevor, fail it, please.
Oh yeah.
Oh!
No, you absolutely control of the hand, pinning it. It's like Weasel's eyes suddenly just, there's a moment of fear as there's just had you at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then her hand that was pinning you against the wall is being pushed back and she's being turned. The knife is getting pulled away from your throat. You are in a commanding position at this point. I was not able to kill you. So, what's up? What is your next course of action? You are in a pitted fight right now.
My next course of action. Now, I have control of the arm.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a function? Would disarming this person also be battle?
Yes.
Okay. So next I want to deal with the immediate threat, which is the weapon in her hand.
Cool. Get it out.
So that's another battle roll, correct?
Yep. Yes, it is.
All right. So I'm gonna use truth again. What's the success on this one?
Also 3. I am burning my fucking threat, dude.
Because I got a 5, I still have momentum, right? We just got momentum. I'm gonna use one of those momentum.
Got it.
Okay. And then submit using my focus. I only got 2.
Yeah, that's really too bad.
No!
So you go to grab the crysknife. Your hand gets onto her hand and she pulls you back around. And you suddenly feel that one hand that was in control suddenly get pinned to your own body. And she uses the weight of you moving forward to grab the crysknife to drive you onto it. There is this gut-wrenching feeling as this sharpened knife of a great sandworm gets slid into the area right between your arm and body, through your pectoral muscle and out the back, up underneath. You are grievously injured. And she pulls it out and just allows you to drop to the floor.
Oh God, she pulled it out too. Oh no. Okay.
And she looks at you. It's like, how dare you try to attack me? Mara will hear of this.
What? Okay, if I'm grievously wounded,
Yeah.
what is the mechanic in the game to not die?
Well, you're not dying. If you were to be stabbed again, it would be really, really bad. But you're grievously injured, so automatically all of your challenges are much higher difficulty.
Okay.
She can very easily coup de grace you.
Oh man. So I would love to say, oh, we're going to take this time in order to de-escalate the situation. Right? Like, I don't think that's what the narrative calls for. Because I think we now see Novier as a trapped animal.
Yep.
So Novier is going to do whatever it takes to get out of this room alive.
Okay. You can attempt to reach up and unlock the door and pull the door open.
I think if it's fight or flight, it's fight on this one, Trevor.
Okay.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. And I think I'm on the ground and I just grab the nearest thing to me and I use it as an improvised weapon.
Go for it. Just
All
like
right.
this, it's like no shit. There's like some sort of rolling pin.
Okay. I'm gonna use another momentum. So that's
Okay.
3. So that's 3 die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using a focus. So yeah,
Okay.
so I try to since I'm on the ground and I grab the rolling pin, instead of striking at her,
Yeah.
I go for one of her knees. So I can take away her mobility.
Got it.
Right.
Your difficulty will be 4.
Okay, so I have to
This
get
is
a crit.
dire circumstances.
Yeah, so I have to get a crit for this. How lucky are we feeling, y'all?
Dude, burned. Look, I'm telling you right now, you've already burned your determination point.
Uh-huh.
There's 2 points in the momentum pool. No, 1 because you used 1.
1 point in the momentum pool, so I'm burning
and you
that.
are grievously injured. And you can always just keep giving me threat for more dice.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you another threat.
Okay,
So
just for 1 more die?
Yeah, just for 1 more because I'm burning the momentum as well.
While this is going on, sisters, finishing dinner of what you ate of it, going through the grand foyer in the ballroom into the kitchen. There's a bang coming from the pantry. You notice the pantry is locked, or the pantry door is closed. But there's a bang and it sounds like a rattle of shelving.
Yeah, I feel like Demira, because of the fact that given Lyra's current condition, can't really go charge into battle. But however, Demira is not with that restriction, so she's gonna go basically because she knows basically what task Novier was given, and seeing as that everything's cleared out except for whoever's in there, she's gonna try to open the door from the
Door is
outside.
locked.
Yeah, no, I mean forcibly. open the
Oh,
door.
okay. Give me a I'm gonna say battle. You were trying to overwhelmingly pull something open.
Okay. All right, let's see.
Lyra, what are you doing at this moment?
Lyra is readying herself. Even though she knows she can't charge into battle, she still kind of gets ready. So she has her Gom Jabbar like fully out.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
And I'm actually also ready to utilize the voice as soon as I make eye contact with whoever else is in there. She's assuming it's Weisel.
Demira, it takes you a hard moment, but you just your conditioning, the way you can use your leverage, you just lean into it and
Like even using
pull.
maybe like shoulder
Oh yeah.
to lift it. Yeah.
You hear the wood of the door beginning to splinter as you wrench it open, and you see bleeding Novier on the ground, grabbing a rolling pin, and Weasel, Chris knife covered in blood, standing above him at the ready.
Quickly, do I see any type of something that I could take as a weapon on the left side where the kitchen?
Oh yeah, no,
utensils,
there's a
everything?
variety of things. There's knives, spoons, frying pans, things like that.
Can I take 2 knives
Mm-hmm.
to be basically into either hand? One where obviously the handle, it's like kind of in an upper position, and the other one is down a little bit further, to basically to go into double-handed knife wielding.
Got it. Lyra.
I take it that I can observe Weisel for a little, like 2 seconds there.
Oh yeah, no, easily. You've seen her around. It's fairly obvious what is going on here. Yeah, absolutely.
Just want to make sure I hit that mechanic correctly. So
Yes.
utilizing the voice, Lyra stares directly down at Weisel and goes, "Stop and stand."
Give me a communication. Your difficulty will be 3.
Cute. I think I'm gonna automatically give you threat so I can add.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And
can
I'd
add
like
them.
to.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you 3 threat here.
Whoa. Okay.
What's my success? Or like how many successes I need? 3?
You need 3, and you're doing 5 dice.
Is there, okay, I'm trying to think.
We need this to work, y'all.
Yeah,
you-
is there any way that I can basically because I can't assist with the voice. However, I can move closer so that way if she moves, if she doesn't go under the influence, she basically automatically slices her neck.
Yeah,
wide open.
no problem. If she does not,
Like I'm gonna get
fall
up from behind to basically get in that position to basically where I can just cut jugular.
easily,
like
if you see her not stop,
Clench.
you can
Mhm.
immediately get in on there. So
Okay.
yeah, give me 5d20.
Okay, I'm using my duty because this is definitely what we came here to do.
Yep.
5.
5 dice.
Oh, okay.
The most that have
Submit.
been rolled.
What is happening right now?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Damn.
god.
Novier,
Oh,
you feel the door get pulled open from underneath you, and you kind of like you're on the ground trying to get up. You kind of like slip a little bit and realize you're in your own blood. The door is pulled open. Demira, 2 knives at the ready. Weasel just growling. And then she stops. And her hand with the Chris knife just falls to her side. And she's just looking completely vacant, staring at Lyra.
Could I ask one question just before Demira cuts her?
Do it.
Did you kill Nava?
No. Do you
I
cut her
gotta.
throat?
Oh God.
Demira, do you cut her throat?
At that, she does not. Like she hesitates. I think that in that moment, I honestly do think that Demira, because she is kind of in a like her own state of shock, that like they thought they had it figured out. So now she's like, who could it be? So now I think there's a hesitation. So I don't know if Lyra does anything else. But I think there is a hesitation that happens with Demir, because I think that it's just like the gut reaction is like it's almost like what is going on?
She wouldn't be that succinct. She would actually she would actually say, I would never harm one of the people.
I don't know what to do at this point. Shoot.
I do have to say, I'm the worst at solving mysteries, so this is just on brand for me right now.
This is like I think Demira, there's like a look in her eyes, but she's not she's not like out like, oh my God, but it is that kind of like, I think her sister will see her eyes kind of widen, like,
Yeah.
like what? And then kind of where she was about to strike, she kind of hesitates and then looks at Lyra, like almost as like needing that, like, do I do what I have to do? It's like a certain look that the between sisters, they know when they had to make these tough decisions. And she's asking in this moment, do I do this now?
No.
Demira,
Lyra would literally go no. Grab
Demira
her.
takes a relaxed stance and waits. But it makes sure that she positions herself in front of Lyra, like basically changing her angle where she was behind to now facing, in order to basically block, so that way Lyra is not attacked in any way. She does not drop the knives, but she does lower them for a second.
Grab her.
She tosses the knives over on the kitchen, where the kitchen sink is. Is there anything that could be used to tie her up in this moment? Her hands bind her. Like maybe, I don't even know if there's like kind of rope that they use for meat, like tying up pigs or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Something, I'm trying to think of what would be in the kitchen, like something to twine, whatever. Yeah. So she's gonna take whatever she sees that she could bind her with, even if it could be cloth, and try, like, a towel or something, to try to basically tie a stiff knot to put her arms behind her back and tie it.
Oh, easily. Yeah, and as you remove the Chris knife from her hand, and she's still locked eyes with Lyra, and you begin tying her arms, first her wrists, then her elbows behind her body, and as the voice fades, she just starts yelling in a language you don't understand. And this is the point for me as a GM, looks at my players and asks, we are at such an amazing point, and you just found out that your main suspect did not murder Nava. Chat, players, the disembodied voice of my mighty producer in tech. Do y'all want to do a finale part 2 next week?
Yes.
I think we're gonna have to.
There's so much more to explore here.
Because we are 47 minutes over our normal time and we have one Wednesday left in May.
I mean, I'm down if y'all are. We'll just have to
Let's
check with our
go.
producer to see.
Let's Go.
Yeah.
Pardon me, mighty disembodied voice. Well,
We
right on.
ball! We ball!
Now, there is one thing, though. I did say at the beginning and at the break that we are giving away a set
Yes.
and a core rule book. So we will do that this
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
I promised it's going to happen. So the person that is going to win tonight, the box set, starter set. This is amazing. I love this. Agents of Dune for Dune Adventures of the Imperium. You're going to win this. Has a great set of dice in it, but also your choice of one of the core rule books, either the House Atreides, House Harkonnen, or House Carino. And we have a winner, BNE Raven 1011. Please, 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 please make sure contact our moderator via Twitch. We will sorry, it's Ben Raven 1011. No, really, I can read. Ben Raven, congratulations. Core rule book, either Atreides, Harkonnen, or which would be my personal favorite since I'm playing the evil guy on this one, or House Carino, and a box set of the starter set is coming your way. And the Agents box set's rad. You've got cards, you've got tons of cool stuff in it to get you up and running for Dune. So, holy shit. This is going to be a two-parter.
Wow.
As the day grows very, very dark in the Residency, the staff is mostly just done with their day, going about their own business. Basima has left to see her daughter. The rest of the staff probably in their rooms or in some common area, decompressing from the horrible murders that happened in the morning. We're going to find out if these 4 agents can actually finish their job next week at 6 p.m. I'm excited. I hope you're all excited. I'm stoked. I want to see if they can figure this out, because so far 2 down and they're both whiffed. So please, please, please come back and watch us next week. And honestly, my cast is rad. My producer's rad. You're all rad watching this. So yeah, come on back next week and let's see if they can actually save the Atreides family. Love you a lot. Take it easy and see you at 6 p.m. Pacific time next week here on Modiphius.